La da 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 day. You're not breaking me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today for another video. So I wanted to film this video today. I didn't know what I was going to say or how I was going to put it, but I just knew I was gonna do it at lunchtime on my lunch break. And I'm in the Starbucks drive-thru because I want a white chocolate mocha latte, iced. I don't know if I'm going to get it iced or hot yet. And I know this is a weird angle, but this is the whole point of the video, having me at this angle so you can see my chin. But you know, this past year has been transformative, and it's only yesterday I realized another aspect of how transformative this past year has been. And when I moved back home in April, I believe it was the beginning of April, I made a commitment to myself to not be anxious about the way I looked, because I know, first off, we're in a global plague. Nobody's functioning at maximum capacity right now. It's actually the other end of the spectrum. That's what I told myself. It's a global plague, and we're going on year 2 of this global plague. But at the time it was, it's a year. That's one. And I knew, like, I was moving back to St. Lucia, hadn't finished my degree, and people would ask questions, people would comment on my weight, and that made me anxious. And I enjoyed having to quarantine for 14 days because it gave me time to prepare myself mentally and emotionally for these changes. And it wasn't as bad as I made it in my head, because that's what anxiety does to you. It gives you the worst possible scenario of what could happen, and then you go off of that and you have all of these feelings. That's downplaying it, but you get what I'm saying. So I made a commitment to myself to appreciate my body for where it brought me. This body has helped me survive one of the toughest seasons of my life. Eating food, binging Netflix, crying myself to sleep, journaling is what got me through the toughest season of my life. And I accepted my body and I loved it. I didn't care that people were telling me I got fat, or I needed to lose weight, or I would be more pretty if I lost weight, or like, oh, I was so small in this photo. I did not care, because I'm alive, and for the most part healthy. I mean if I run up a flight of stairs, I'll be out of breath, but I can carry myself, I can walk. I went to Pigeon Island. I still do the things that I love to do in this body, and I don't let societal standards of how how athletic you're supposed to be or how adventurous you're supposed to be detain me from doing the things I enjoyed, as in going on adventures, walking through rivers to get to a waterfall, going up Pigeon Island. Even though I messed up my knees, it was worth it, because I didn't let how I was feeling or how people expected me to, I didn't let the anxiety of the weight gain restrict me. Regardless of people saying, oh, like, if you do this you could lose weight, all the unsolicited advice. And people always mean well, whether it be your loved ones or acquaintances or whatever. They always mean well, but I didn't ask you. I did not ask you. And when I was in my bedroom crying myself to sleep, I knew I wanted that ice cream, and I knew that ice cream would help me feel better. I was the one there. You weren't there with me. And when I was in that moment of not wanting to be alive, I knew having that chicken sandwich and that large fry and that milkshake would make me feel better, and I would stay alive for that moment. I was the one there by myself in these moments. And that's why when people give me the unsolicited advice, it goes in one ear and out the other. I do not care what you think. I don't care how you think I should look. But anyways, whew. I am now an esthetician. In 1 year, my life went from me being so uncertain but sure at the same time to me making a whole career change. And now I could say a year later, I'm an esthetician. And I have never been happier in my entire life. So, fast forwarding to when did I take my final? On Thursday, I took my final exam. I got 90%. I had taken my physical or my practical exam the day before and passed. And I was like, oh, I have time to kill. Maybe I'll relax. Maybe I'll go on a little road trip. And then the school is offering this body sculpting workshop for 5 days. And I have never looked into body sculpting, like ever. It was never something I was passionate about or curious about. But the wood therapy looked interesting to me, and then a classmate of mine did a program somewhere else, and she did a session on another classmate, and the results were just amazing. Her body looked amazing after just a 1 hour session with wood therapy. And these results were so beautiful to me, and that was my selling point. So I was like, okay, I'm here, I have 10 days before I go home, might as well do the workshop. And then, you know, going into the Zoom class yesterday, Marilyn was the instructor, and I loved her in our medical aesthetics workshop. She was one of the instructors there as well, and I fell in love with body sculpting, and I never imagined that happening. We went over, you know, body or beauty standards, you know, body structure standards, societal standards through the eras. And when I started to feel uncomfortable was when they got to, you know, medical health, and, you know, this is a healthy body, this body is obese, this body is morbidly obese, and whatever story. And, you know, these are things I've heard many times before. I mean, people can look at you and judge based on what they think they know. So you just listen and you push that over your shoulder. So what got me was when she was like, when we come to class today, we're going to do photos, because when you're doing your client's intake, photos are required, so you can track their progress, and for liability as well, because the client will come to you and say, I'm not seeing any results, or this is not the area I wanted, and you have the photo proof to show because you mark the areas that they want to treat. But anyways, that's not the point. It's a requirement for the body sculpting, and it has to be done correctly. So when she told us that we would need to be the models, I started panicking. And it was subtle at first until I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and he asked me how was my day, and that was the first thing that came up. And I was like, I feel very uncomfortable having to model in my underwear for photos in front of people I do not know and have never met except Marilyn. And, you know, his response was like, well, you don't have to do it. You can just speak to them and I'm sure you will be exempt. And he was right. But that didn't make me feel better, because I didn't want to be exempt. I want to do the exercise, feel comfortable enough to do the exercise, and I want to be reassured in my classmates and my lecturer that this is actually a safe space, and I want to be able to do the assignment. But I just brushed it off, and I said, okay, maybe I'm just overthinking this and it's not as bad as I'm making it seem. But I really did not want to model in my underwear. And I don't think it had anything to do. You know, at that moment, all I was thinking of is my body is not the body that people accept. So even though I love myself, and when I look in the mirror, I'm proud of myself and I love what I see, that's not what people are going to see. They're going to see a fat girl. They're going to see a girl that doesn't take care of herself and overeats, so she has love handles and a fat belly. That's what they're going to see. And I'm going to be judged by people I have never met and don't know me. So later on in the night, I really started to panic because I was like, I really do not want to do this assignment, but I really don't want to not do it. And my uncle's friend was over, and his kids, and you know, there were people over, and I really started to panic. And in that moment, I just couldn't be by myself. So I went to her and I'm like, I cannot breathe. And I had an anxiety attack right there. And she was like, what's wrong? Like, she really didn't know what to do, but I usually know what to do. And in that moment, I just needed to talk to somebody who would most likely understand. So I explained to her like what the assignment was and how I felt uncomfortable about it. And she said, but I would feel uncomfortable too. And I'm sure you're probably not the only student that would feel uncomfortable. And my cousin's cousin was like, I would feel uncomfortable too. And it's not even about my size. I just wouldn't feel comfortable being in my underwear in front of a bunch of strangers. And at that moment, I realized that it had nothing to do with my size. It's just how comfortable you feel around strangers. But I knew it was about my size. But it was nice to chat, and then I went back in my room. I didn't feel like studying or reviewing, so I went to sleep. And this morning, when I woke up, I was still anxious about it. And then I was like, but Faith, this entire year, you've built your confidence in yourself to a different level, to the point where you're wearing bikinis at the beach, to the point where you're wearing mini skirts, to the point where you can go out and socialize without wearing makeup, to the point where you're just a ray of light and love. So why now, when it's something for your education, why are you letting fears that you have overcome, or for the most part overcame why are you letting these fears trickle back in? Don't do that. So I said to myself, you know what? I don't care how I feel, I am doing this assignment. I took a nice long shower. I exfoliated. I didn't shave because nobody has time for that. Nope, that's not gonna be me. I put on my new favorite pair of panties that I just purchased from Target the other day. I put on a comfortable sports bra, and I was like, I am taking these. Oh, and I did my makeup and combed my hair. I never do my makeup for school because why? But I did my makeup, and I arrived like 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm usually the first one in the door, but this morning I needed to be for myself, to prepare myself, and that's what I needed to do. And I walk in the door, everybody's there, and we didn't need to undress to take the photos at all. But the point, I'm glad I thought we had to. You know why? Because I was able to soothe my own anxiety, and I have never really done that before in instances where I have a panic attack, because you know yourself better than anyone knows you, or at least you're supposed to. So I was proud of myself for being able to give myself the strength to do what needed to be done. And that's the point of this video. It's important to have loved ones and to have people you can trust and people you can go to in moments of doubt or when you need a shoulder. But the most important person to do these things is yourself, because the people around you can only go so far. They can only be so much. But at the end of the day, it's all you. It's all you. At the end of the day, it was all me. And I am so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. I cannot wait for when they call me to come pick up my diploma and pick up my certificates, because in 4 months I've accomplished 3 different specialties, and I never thought I would have the capability to do that, but I did it. You know why? Because I'm self-sufficient and capable, because I'm a powerful ray of light and love. And what's my third one? Wait, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. And you know why? The best one for last. Because I am in alignment with my purpose. That's it. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you're inspired, because I have never been. You see that alignment with my purpose? That's all the motivation.
To do that, you need to be online.
Shut up. That's all the motivation and inspiration I needed, because there were mornings I didn't want to get out of bed. Because when I'm PMSing, don't wake me up. Don't talk to me before 7:30 a.m. Don't talk to me. But I did it, and I drove the half an hour every morning. Some mornings I didn't, and I stayed home because, you know, personal day or mental health day. But for the most part, I showed up and I did what I needed to do, and I studied and I did the facials, and it felt like a breeze because I'm in alignment with my purpose. Put that on your plate and eat it. Why? But guys, that's it. That's it. That's the entire video. Not me spending half an hour on a Starbucks line. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.